Hey, Dave Fannin here with the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Boot Camps. Don't stop moving. A week of inactivity could have long-term effects, studies suggest. I hear it all the time in my business, and I got this article from one of my clients who we talk about, you just got to keep showing up. And I hear it all the time with people that, unfortunately there's a lot of excuse makers instead of action takers, and unfortunately sometimes they'll cross my path too. And what you hear is common phrases. We may have said it ourselves, because sometimes if you're like laying in bed and you're like, this is too hard, I would rather just be fat and lazy. You say these things to ourselves. So I'm just going to take some time off. Or I'm so busy at work, I just can't make it in. Or I just can't get in right now. My life is just crazy. Or I think I'm just going to take a week, a month, or a year off. Or I sprained my ankle and I think I'm going to just take a break. Or I'm going to be out of town for a week, so I'm just not going to work out. And these are all things that are ideally common sense, but it actually is a negative that can impact you for a long time, because it takes a lot of effort to get up and get into shape. And the studies suggest that the outcome of even a single week off has some adverse and long-term effects. So the study is consistent, if not worrisome. They took 45 active and metabolically healthy adult men and women who walk normally 10,000 steps a day and asked them to cut back to 2,000 steps a day, keep their feet up, and just basically relax for a week and reduce their activity levels. And the study's results were consistent, if not worrisome, Reynolds writes. The majority of the study participants increased in just 1 week of taking a break, increased blood sugar levels, decreased insulin sensitivity, unhealthy cholesterol profiles. The testing also found an increase in fat around participants' abdomens and decreased muscle mass in their legs. Atrophy, you start losing muscle even within a first week of reduced activity. The majority of participants reversed these metabolic derangements after returning to their active lifestyles, but some had pervasive and persistent symptoms of insulin resistance and were less physically active in the weeks following the study. This is one of those things that I've seen. Even a week off, it takes people time to get back up into shape. And I see it consistently, and it's a reinforcement that you need to make this a lifestyle choice. There are no weeks off. I always say no days off, but over time, and the older you get, and they saw another study of people over 65, and we don't deal with a lot of people over 65, that the results indicate that consequences of inactivity are more severe and potentially longer lasting. When people over 65 took a week off, it took them even longer to get back up to their base rate. Because back in the day, and even within the last couple of years, people take a week off, no big deal, and say, hey, there's no damage you can do. But apparently, it's a bad idea. And I've come to believe that any time off is a bad idea. And so what they really encourage you, you work around injuries on vacations, you try to keep moving 2 to 3 times per week, every week, forever. It's a forever program. That's how you have to look at exercises. It's a forever program, and you can't stop. Not just do you not just lose the gains that you've made, but you put yourself back. Insulin sensitivity, you start losing muscle mass, there's no upside. And you reinforce the not doing anything habit. I noticed that with this, where it says it takes people some time after that week off to get back up to their normal level of activity. Just like when I tell people that come in to start and they go, well, I just want to think about it. And I say, well, you can't really think about it, because you're either making the action-taking habit today, or you reinforce the not taking action habit. It's a very real thing. So if you're in shape now and you're going to go on vacation, or you have a minor injury that over time you have to keep moving 2 to 3 times per week, there are no times off, there's no taking a break. You got to keep moving unless you want to start moving backwards. There is no, I'm just going to coast. It's going to take a little time off, because it doesn't work. And then all that work that you've invested in yourself is for naught. And you're going backwards. You start losing muscle mass within the first week. It's not a good look, and it's no way to go through life. So if you establish the habit, keep the habit. If you know that you're coming up on a busy season, like you're in taxes or you're a busy travel season, you have to plan ahead to stay on track and keep moving. 2 to 3 times per week, 30-minute sessions, all kinds of benefits. There's no downside, and there sure as hell ain't no taking a break. So at the end of the day, I hope you have a good day, and I'm Dave Fannin with the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Boot Camps. Have a good one.